going to be done in about an hour. Yeah, let me see, yeah, right in the middle of feeding. What are you doing?
Mark, since we visited you 18 months ago, tell me one or two or three of the major improvements you've seen in the landscape and in the trees that we treated.
Major improvements I see on the maples are by exposing the root collars on the maples, healthier, and taking out the compacted dirt and enlarging the natural areas around the maples and taking the bricks I had pinning the secondary root collar in. The root collar looks healthier, the secondary roots are all over the place, the maples are budding more and look much healthier.
Now, we spent some time preserving the trees in the natural area back behind your house. And why was that area important to you? Most people just sort of push that over with a bulldozer and put in grass. Why did you opt to spend money to save the trees and pick through those like you did?
Well, as I said, we originally looked back in there because that one huge poplar was dead and threatening the other house. He did an excellent job of taking that down without touching either of the houses. In the process, you pointed out two hickories, which I had wanted to save and I thought were healthy, were ill. And by inoculating those are coming back and budding up nicely now. And then by exposing the root collars like we had done on the maples, since you were out here, the other trees will be healthier for the long term.
In some of our conversations, you said that your house was one of the last houses built on this street, one of the last two or three, and so they replaced these maples that we're standing in front of now, and yet they appear to be bigger than most of the others in the neighborhood. Is this true?
I actually lucked out because it's development. When they graded the lots, most of the large trees in the neighborhood are dead and dying and either removed at the time or now have to be removed. And they had put very small maples in my front yard, and probably 1 to 3 years after the other maples are now as large or larger than any of the maples up and down the street, and a lot healthier. And 2 houses up, a guy had a maple that was put in before mine, and he's been trying to get it to bud up by over-fertilizing it. And when you sat down and looked at that, you saw where the secondary roots were right at the bottom. He didn't have the healthy roots, and he was, by trying to increase the growth without treating the bottom, it was going to flare and burn out, I think would be the term, in layman's terms.
And there was another, your next door neighbor had a tree removed, and there was an interesting discovery when they started to take it down and remove some dirt around. What did they find?
Well, you had pointed out where the anchor collars on my maples weren't exposed, and by bringing them down and exposing that, they were healthier. Enlarging the natural area gave more place for the secondary roots, but on his large tree that was in the front, it was a gorgeous tree when I moved in. It was slowly dying, and when the guy took it down, they found that the root collar had been covered 3 feet up when they graded the lot.
3
feet?
It was
all rotted out down there.
3 feet?
The tree guy was incredulous when he saw this.
We find that more often than not in the managed landscapes, because they'll take dirt, fill it into the little gullies and swales and things like that, and when they do, that what we refer to as covered and smothered. Covered and smothered is great at Waffle House, but it doesn't work very good in the managed landscape.
I could see a foot or two, but that was just insane. And you saw 2 or 3 of my medium-sized trees in the back. One of them was at least 2 feet underneath, and it had the bulge in the trunk, and that's now coming back nicely. And that one was in the same case, but caught before that happened with his gorgeous tree.
Yes, yes. Those trees in the back natural area, I'm surprised. 18 months after our initial treatments and evaluations, they've come back surprisingly strong. The hickories especially have done exceptionally well.
I'm very happy. I think the mulching has helped a lot on that, and the fertilizer and the feeding, because I never watered that back there, and it's come in very nicely.
Oh, that's great. Well, congratulations on making good decisions. We appreciate the trust and the confidence that you've placed in us. It's our most valuable, trusted business asset. Thank you.
I've been very happy.
Okay, thank you, Mark.